Hi, I'm Daphne from Daps Makeup, and I'm here to give you the quick tea on luxury makeup. And today I'm gonna do a review of all the makeup that I have bought in the last 6 months. And it's actually not just gonna be luxury. Yeah, I would say probably the majority of it is gonna be luxury items, but I'm just a lover of makeup. So you will see high-end, you will see indie, and you will see even drugstore all up in the mix. But I thought it would be fun just to kind of look back at these last 6 months and look at the things that I've bought and give you my opinion. A lot of the items that you'll see, I actually have featured in previous YouTube videos, but those dedicated videos, generally speaking, were first impressions, or maybe I used it a couple of times. But now I've had these products for some time, really gotten a chance to use them and sit with them and give a better informed opinion of them. And maybe some of my opinions have changed. Maybe my opinion is the exact same, but I figured you would appreciate that either way. And then there's a lot of items that have not featured on this channel. So that was another way just to give you quick opinion on those as well. And for me, I found this to be also really helpful just to kind of get my own self inventory and looks at, you know, the spending that I did on makeup. And you know, the one thing that I noticed this year compared to all the previous years, I am normally primarily, my main item of makeup, favorite item of makeup is eyeshadow. And so in previous years, it would have been dominated by eyeshadow. But this year, I did not buy eyeshadow as much as I've done in the past. Maybe because I own so much now that, you know, it's gonna be hard to impress me with any color story because I have every color, you know, that I could possibly have, any color story. So, you know, it's gonna take a lot now, I think, to convince me to buy eyeshadow. But I did, and actually I'll probably leave the eyeshadow to the end. And what I'm also gonna do is, I'm not gonna go month to month, January, February month. What I'm just gonna do, actually, I figured I'm just gonna go brand to brand. And so I'll show you with each brand, what did I buy from that whole brand this year, and what are my thoughts? Am I still loving it? Am I not? And so forth. And also, before we get started, because you're probably wondering, what is on my face? So just to quickly, before anybody asks, if you want to know what is on my eyes, well, I got 2 eyeshadow palettes. My favorite eyeshadow brand, Pat McGrath. This is Moonlit Seduction. And then also Adet Cosmetics, the Minka palette. So this glittery goodness comes thanks to them. Try to grunge out the look a little bit with my Pat McGrath eyeliner, Fenty mascara. On the cheeks, Dior blush, berry, and I have the Dior bronzer, highlighter, Westman Atelier Peau de Pêche cream highlighter, Dior lip maximizer on the lips. My base, I'm trying out a YSL foundation, All Hours Foundation D5W. I have another sample of a Chanel concealer. I think it's a Sublimage. So I'm trying some samples in terms of my base. But this is the look today. But let's get started. What did I buy in the last 6 months? So the first brand we're gonna start with is Chanel. So I feel like they're like the brand that took most of my money. So I figure we'll start there. So I'm gonna go through my Chanel bag and let's see what I pull out. Right, so I started off the year with this product that technically it come out in 2022, but I didn't actually buy it till January of this year. This is the Oversized Healthy Glow Sun Kiss Powder in the shade Deep. And so, you know, when this first came out, I was seeing a lot of fair skinned women like using them as bronzers. And I was like, well, this shade doesn't work for me. But I have other friends of deeper skin tones and they were using it as all over powder and giving rave reviews. And then I was like, okay, let me just get it already. And so that's what I've been using the Deep for as my all over powder. And you can tell how much I love this powder because yes, I've hit pan. I use this pretty much every time I'm doing my makeup. This is my all over powder and I love it. The CCs are gone. I'm hitting pan. Yeah, that's how much I love this powder. So yes, 10/10 recommend. At the same time, I had also bought 2 lipsticks because in the fall of 2022, I fell in love with the Rouge Allure lipstick fall collection. I forget how many I bought, but I bought a bunch of those. I absolutely love those. And then at the beginning of the year, they had come out with the Rouge Allure Velvet, some new shades in that formula. I don't love the Rouge Velvet as much as I love just the Rouge Allure, but I still couldn't help myself to get 2 shades. So I gotten one Nude Intuitive, which is actually very similar to my favorite Rouge Allure shade Alter Ego. So it's a nice, pretty nude. And then I also got a red, and reds I don't use too much normally, but I've been actually using this one more often than I thought I would. It's called Raptuis, number 71. The first one, by the way, Intuitive, is number 61. Okay, so this shade I think is so pretty because it's a red, but it's got some pink to it. I don't know, but when I put this on, I'm always getting compliments and I really love it. So that is how I started off the year with Chanel. So that's how I started off the year. And then next product, I do have a dedicated video for, and that was for, if you remember this one, I got the deeper shade Character. This is the oversized pan that has the eye and cheek powders to it. Let me just make sure to call it correctly. Yeah, eyeshadow and blush palette, number 558, Character. All right, so what are my opinions on it? And it might not be way off of what I said in my original video, but I still actually do want to, I do have some updates to say about this. So, is this the best Chanel blush formula? No. Is this the best Chanel eyeshadow formula? No. But I do find myself using this a lot, and I think you can tell. I purposely didn't want to clean this off because I wanted you guys to see everything as is. I literally just took them off my beauty counter and just took everything out. I don't want to clean things and beautify. I want you to know the real. I've actually been using this a lot more than I thought it would. And I guess, you know, I'm getting older. I know I went all out with the eye look today, but lately a lot of days I'm just running out to drop off the kids and I no longer have the energy to do the full makeup so early in the morning, but I need to get myself just put together enough just so I don't look crazy out in these streets. So I'll quickly put these 2 shades on my eyes in the crease, use this blush, this inner corner highlight and highlighter on my cheeks, and I'm good to go. And so practically speaking, just to make a nice soft look that you just want just enough product just so that you can just look put together. And so I've actually found myself using this more than I anticipated that I would. I'm still not gonna tell people that this is a must-have because this is expensive. And like I said, it is not like if you are new to Chanel, this shouldn't be your first product. This is somebody who's been in love with Chanel. And the one thing that is of concern, another reason I didn't not want to clean this off, the one thing I'm getting concerned, I hope you can appreciate that, is if this is gonna get hard pan. I think, you know, some of my foundation must be, you know, coming onto this product and I plan to like scrape this off. And at the end of the year, I'll give you some more updates, but, you know, cause that's the one concern is, you know, this is already, for blush wise anyway, this is already hard pressed. And then if there's potential that hard pan, you know, so I cannot necessarily recommend this to you guys per se, but at the same time, I have to admit I've actually been using it a lot. And I know red is not always everybody's favorite shade color, and especially if you're fair tone, it's not always the most flattering, but on my skin tone, it actually comes out very natural. It's not a strong red. It's like a soft pinky red on me. And so it actually looks very natural on me. So that's the deal with that. What also came with that collection is nail polish. I always love the nail polish. This is a beautiful nail polish color, and the mascara as well. I know not everybody loves the Rouge Allure mascaras, but I do. And not everybody loves colored mascaras, but I do. I love to put colored mascara, particularly on my bottom lashes. So I do use this. So for me, I actually do use these products, but I understand this particular collection is not going to be for everybody. Just keeping it real with that one. Now, the most recent thing that's been very popular has been the Cause Couleur collection. I just put up a video, so you already saw me unboxing all of these. They're still just as beautiful as it was when I opened it. I just wanted to give you an update on the brushes because at that time I hadn't used them yet. The nail file works beautifully. But at that time I couldn't tell you guys what I felt about the brushes because I literally just opened them up. Now I have been using them. Here's my opinion. I actually like them more than I thought I would. I was quite skeptical if I would like the blush brush in particular. Yes, it's dirty because I just used it today. I'm not cleaning nothing for you guys. I'm literally I used them today and then I'm giving you the opinion. So I use this to apply blush, and I've used it with my Pat blushes, my House Labs, my Dior. I love this. This picks up blush really well and applies it beautifully. I'm loving this blush, and I thought I would not like this blush. You know, I'm a natural hair blush girl at this point, brush girl, and so synthetic brushes, I was like, will I still like them? I love this brush. I actually do. The foundation brush actually works really well as well. I do like it. I think especially if you're using a foundation that's more liquid based, like the Water Fresh tint, or any one that's a little bit on the liquidier side, it especially really works well and you can quickly apply. If you use it with a foundation that is thicker, like the Chanel Ultra Le Tint, that one, it works, but because it's thicker, I will say it takes me a little bit more time because as you can see, the brush size is not that big. But in terms of actually the application, I love it. And I like that it's a long handle that I can still travel with it, but it's not like the short handles like the ones you get when you buy like the Water Fresh Tint Complexion and things like that. The eyeshadow brushes, these are good as well. I think they're great for travel. They do their job. They're not going to replace my Sonia G or my Wayne Goss brushes, but they do the job. And I just think, practically speaking, these are just great for travel. So this is a great travel set for brushes. And I'm not even traveling nowhere, and I've still been using these. So yes, yes, yes. And then lastly, just these two quick Chanel products. These are not new at all. They were just new to me because I'm just also fairly new to Chanel. So I got their eyebrow pencil and their lip liner. They're all right. I have no bad complaints about them, but I also can't say they wowed me. So obviously, you know, Chanel is not cheap, so you want these products to wow you. So I can use these up. Will I repurchase? Not sure about that. But clearly I need to repurchase the powder because you already saw I'm already hitting pan. So that's the deal with Chanel 2023 so far. Okay, the next brand we're going to talk about is Dior. All right, now I have dedicated YouTube videos already talking that I went through my whole Dior Lippy collection, both new and old. So I'm not going to revisit that because my opinion is the same. Watch it. But from there, you should already know the Dior Addicts, that whole line. I love them all. And these are the ones that I had bought this year. So Lip Shine, Lip Glow, I love them all. But if you want the real detailed review, watch my video. It should already be quite clear. The blushes, still in love with them, still in love. If you are my skin tone, both these shades are fabulous. I was debating if I would buy any more. I've decided that just these two tones are the best for me. Although Cherry actually is really pretty, but looks something similar to something I already have. So I'm gonna just stick to these two. But yes, 10/10 recommend. So the only Dior purchases that I bought that I have not featured are just liquid eyeliners. This actually was a repurchase, and actually I might buy a third one because I love liquid eyeliner, and to have a nice deep navy blue is I love that shade. It's matte denim, and I love that it's a matte shade. I had tried a new shade. This is number 386. Trying to get the name of the shade. This shade, I believe, is Pearly Emerald. This shade, I do not think I will repurchase. I don't really use this. Let me see if I can show you this. It's not as pigmented as I would like, you know, especially on my skin tone. I need, you know, this is to provide definition to my eyes. So I need this to be pigmented. And this green, I wanted a much more stronger green. I wish they had this in their matte formula. Now this might be dead because I use this so much, but let me see. But see, you could still, and this is a dead one. Like, you know, I need to like actually buy a new one. So just trust me, it could be better than this, but you can still see how much more pigmented that is. So I think their matte formula, I like their matte formula, but these like more satiny, shimmery ones, they're not pigmented enough for me. So that is my opinion on Dior. So if we're gonna be talking about eyeliners, then I have to talk about Victoria Beckham. And I bought a bunch of her liners. I have dedicated videos to all of those as well. So this is another brand I'm gonna quickly go over. I tried out her new eyewear in the shades Bottle Green and Sunflower. I like them, they're nice. Still my favorite is the OG Satin Kajal eyeliners. These are still my go-to eyeliners, period. The 3 new summer colors, super fun colors, unique, love them. But the shade that I've been using the most has been Surfside, which also came out this year. I love teal anyway, so this is a beautiful color that I have been using a lot, along with the, you know, all the traditional colors that I have already owned. So that's a real quick tea on Victoria Beckham because you can watch my dedicated videos. A brand that I do not have a dedicated video for is Lisa Eldridge. And I have a small purchase from them, but Lisa Eldridge, what she is best at is matte lipsticks. Her velvet lipsticks, chef kiss. But my purchases this year were actually her lip gloss in the shades Decade and Sorcery. Out of all the shades, these 2 are my favorite for my skin tone. I love these 2 shades. So I'm happy that she came out with these 2 shades this year. And then I also feel like makes the best liquid eyeshadow formula. I don't use liquid eyeshadow often, but if I were to, Lisa Eldridge is where I would go to, and Viola was a shade that I got. Now, a brand, my favorite brand that I have featured plenty of times on this channel is Pat McGrath. Now this eyeshadow palette, I have not featured on my channel though. And I think it actually came out in 2022, I believe, but I didn't buy it till this year. Or maybe it did came this year, but unlike traditionally, like when Pat comes out with something, I'm normally buying it the day it launches. This is one I actually kind of waited. I let it go to Sephora, try to get on sale, you know, so I waited a long time. But I love this, oh my God, Velvet Liaison. And you look at it and you might be bored. You know, this is an all matte shot. You know, she's most famous for, hello, the glitter, the shine. But I actually like her eyeshadow formula, and this is an all matte. Oh my God, I use this all the time. So I know I didn't feature it on this channel, but I use this. This is my companion with so many other, you know, I have so many quads and quins that are mainly shimmer shades, and you need that matte shade. You might not be able to tell, but trust me, I use this palette all the time. 10/10 recommend. Yes. I did feature the bronzers, and I still do like the bronzers. I have Bronze Mahogany and Divine Burnished Honey. I would say Bronze Mahogany is what I use the most. So this is the shade, which is the deepest shade. I use this more than I can pull off this one, but I like to be more chiseled. So this is a shade that I get. Now, the eyeshadow quad that came with it, I have zero complaints. It's a beautiful quad, but admittedly, I have not really gone back to it much. I guess it's because it's a simple color story. I should I should use it more, but admittedly I haven't. But formula-wise, no complaints. I just think, you know, obviously it's not necessarily an exciting color story. So if you're not a huge Pat McGrath fan, it might not be worth it to you. Now this quad that came with the blush, and we'll talk about it in a quick second. This one I've used a few times. I actually like this one. I actually probably even like it more than I showed myself on my video. Still in love with this shade. I don't care if this kick up. I love this shade and this matte formula. I love this shimmer. Now in my review video, I wasn't like all that impressed by this one. In that video, I was trying to put a little bit like on my lower lash line, and it wasn't like showing out for me. On my own, I've gone and used this like all over the lid, and it's beautiful. Yeah, it's not gonna shine as bright as this one, but sometimes you don't want to be all bling blingy like I'm doing today, but it's still gorgeous. So I actually love this quad. Yeah, love it, love it. Now the blush that came with it, this was a beautiful blush, and you saw from my dedicated video, it applied well. So formula wise, no complaints. Admittedly, I have not really been drawn to using it. Obviously it's a vibe, and it's not everybody's vibe, you know. I didn't feel like I looked too wet with it, but it's still a glowy balm. It's a blush balm. And so, you know, especially if I'm going to work, I like to be all matte and things like that. So I tend to gravitate towards a matte blush. So admittedly, I have not really been using it, but not because the formula is bad. It's just a personal preference, but I will use it. And then lastly, I haven't been featured in this, and this was another one that I think came in 2022, but I bought this year, was one of her satin lipsticks from the Bridgerton series, I think. But this is Night Kiss, and it's just, for my skin tone, this is just a beautiful shade where you can just put it on, don't have to think about it, easy breezy shade. So I like this. So I will tell you my most used products from Pat McGrath: Velvet Liaison. I don't care if it looks like a Borning Matte palette. Her bronzer. Those are my most used. And I actually like this palette. You know, I have to be in the mood for the colors, but when I'm in the mood, I actually like this. So that is my quick review on Pat for 2023. Wow. Pat's blush balm might not be for everybody, but a cream blush that everybody should check out is Danessa Myricks. This blush, I have it in the shade Dancing Queen. This is a great formula, pigmented, so be careful as you're applying. But oh, it blends beautifully, great application. This is gorgeous. It's amazing I still have only one shade, but they have several beautiful shades. So Danessa, you did your thing with this cream blush. We are talking about Black-owned brands. Let's keep it going. LYS, a brand that I know I don't feature on this channel, but I actually really do like their brand. And this year, they came out with lipsticks and lip liners, which is new. So I was actually excited to get these, and I'm happy I did. One, packaging, I love the sleek design. It is beautiful. I got two shades. One is Moody, and the other one, this is Optimistic. So Optimistic is kind of like a bright pink, or at least on my skin tone. And then you got Moody, which is more of a nude. You know, pinky brown, but leaning more brown. You know, they both got like maybe like little hints of maybe some lavender purple to them. But I actually love this formula. I think they describe it as maybe a creamy matte, and that is a great description. It feels very creamy on the lips, but the application, it does look matte. I love LYS's lipstick, and I have two lip liners, but I only brought one out. So let's see, this shade is Rise Above, and then I got also the more brown tone shade. Also love this lip liner formula. I'm gonna get in closer. So it has a, triangular shape, which I actually love. Because what I like to do is actually, I don't even point it at its tip, which you could. I actually even like to put it onto its side and apply it this way. It perfectly fits my lip. And because when I like to apply lip liner, I don't like it to be this pointed edge, like it's like lipstick liner. I want everything to blend in, you know, especially, you know, at times they're kind of making almost an ombre effect. So it already kind of blends itself when you put it, maybe I'll just do it now anyway, but if I put it on a lip like this, and I have lip gloss on right now, so just be aware of that. But it automatically, like I said, you're not gonna fully appreciate this right now, but especially I have full lips. So number one, I don't need some thin line. I got some real estate on these lips. So that's number one. So it applies it. And then when I put on the lipstick in the middle, it just gives this perfect ombre effect that I love to have. And everything will be blended in beautifully. So LYS, yes, to the lipstick and the lip liner. So now back to a popular, well-known brand, Natasha Denona. And here are her concealers, which also have a nice sleek packaging. I have been enjoying that. I got in 2 shades, Y12 and Y13. So Y for yellow undertone. I like this formula. I have 0 complaints. I like the pointed edge, so it fits beautifully if you just want to get right into certain crevices. Beautiful tone. This is Y12, I believe, and then Y13. So if I want to be more natural, and then if I want to have a more highlighted shade. So yeah, I'd recommend these. I'm actually really enjoying her concealers. And then I did buy 2 palettes. My dream, I think also, that came in 2022, but I didn't buy it till now. But I think this is actually a beautiful color story. So I've been enjoying that one. And then the palette that did truly come out new this year was the Yucca palette. And this is a fairly unique color story. So this is really pretty. And so I really like the color story. Now, I have some issues just in general with Natasha Denona with cream to powder formulas on me. I have trouble applying it. You know, especially these tones, these orangier tones are very close to my skin tone. So with that formula and that color, I have some difficulties but it's like only 2 shades, like this one and this one showing up. But everything else shows up really well on me. Great shimmers, her traditional mattes I love. So overall, happy with this palette, and I think it's a very nice color story. This year has been a big year for blush. So let me go through a few more brands where blush was the main purchase. So Haus Labs, I got 2 shades. First, I had gotten Watermelon Bliss. Look at this. Oh my God. And then they came out with Lavender Blonde. And purple is one of my favorite blush shades. So when I saw this, had to have this. So Haus Labs, oh my God. Yes to these because the colors choices, the pigmentation, these are just beautiful pigmented matte blushes. So if you love blush, you know, and there's obviously many other shades, but these are just beautiful shades that are just, oh, you know, if you're a blush lover and you like your blush to show up, yes, Haus Labs, yes. Now, if you want a softer finish, then go with RMS. Now, I'm gonna tell you, I actually had bought 2. You only see 1 here because I actually already gave 1 away. This is where I'm gonna be the unpopular opinion because so many people love RMS blush. I was not impressed. I'm sorry, for me, unlike Haus Labs, which is very pigmented, I like my blush to be pigmented, and this just wasn't it for me. But if you like something to be very soft and glowy, but it's soft. It's not just glowy, it's soft for me. Just for me, for my pigmentation, it just didn't do it for me. Now I kept this one. So this is a shade Maiden's Blush. So this for me, if I'm doing a no makeup look and I just need a natural flush to my skin running out the door, then this is pretty. So I've kept this one. I had gotten another shade, I think it was called Hanky Panky. And that one was like a plum. I'll try to put it up here. It was described as magenta plum. I told you I love purple, so of course I was like, that's the blush. And you think that one looks deeper, that would show up more? I don't know. I applied it. I had to work so hard for it to show up on my skin at all. I don't know. It just did not do it for me. I wanted to love these RMS blushes, but no. And don't think it's just because I need the blush to be super, super pigmented, because then we could talk about Gucci. Good time to talk about Gucci. These have a more of a soft finish, but it shows up in me and I love it. So I already had one from last year, Warm Berry, I think it was called, but I got the new one called Soft Red. Depending on what website, sometimes it's called Soft Rose, I believe, and sometimes it's called Soft Red. And it's not red at all. It's more of a, like a peachy coral. So no, it's a more orange tone. So it's not red at all. But anyway, beautiful, love it. And I appreciate this soft, luminous, matte formula. So tempted to get the Intense Plum, but I've been buying so much blush, so I own so much, so I'm trying to be good and not get another one, but I might, because I do love Gucci's formula. And the only other thing I bought from Gucci was their nail polish. You know, I'm a lover of Chanel nail polish, but this color was just so pretty that I bought it, and I just like the colors. It's just beautiful. And just to round up, since we're talking about blushes, I just figured we'd talk about powder. One size. I know you just saw my video, or you should have saw my video. I just posted a video recently about this powder, so I went into detail about my opinion on it, just letting you know, still love it, used it today. Like I said, ladies of medium skin tones, you don't always have to use banana, especially if you have a more neutral undertone. Not all of us are golden undertones, so if you don't have a golden undertone, don't force yourself to use a banana powder. Consider pink. This formula is great, blurs, mattifies, and yeah, it just gives you a neutral brightness rather than a golden brightness. So just something to consider. Still love it. Now let's go on to Tom Ford. I'm going to tell you right now, the majority of the purchases I'm going to show you, these are products that actually came out in 2022 that I bought this year, because I tend to try to wait when I get a chance to go to my local CCO, to the cosmetic company store, where you can get Tom Ford products generally 50 to 70% off. But they're going to be products that, you know, have been out for a while. So, you know, but I'm willing to wait and get that discount. So just giving you a heads up. But the one product that did come out this year that I did buy this year was the Traceless Soft Matte Concealer. And it was the very first YouTube video that I did. I dedicated this video to. So here is the update on my feelings on it. The shade is 6WO Terra. So what I would say is this is actually the perfect shade. I absolutely love this shade. I love how well it just blends into my skin seamlessly. The only thing is it blends so well into my skin that basically this is the concealer I use on my no makeup days. So for no makeup days, cool. But if I'm doing full glam like this, this ain't not giving me the coverage that I need. That is where I would use the Shade and Illuminate concealer from Tom Ford. So now I'm mad I have it. I will completely use this up. Will I repurchase? I'm not sure about that. Because this ain't cheap. So for a no makeup concealer, I don't know if I want to spend buku dollars for that. I did repurchase the companion foundation because I got this 70% off at the CCO. I was like, oh, okay, yes. But no, love this formula. Tried and true, so it's actually just a repurchase, but figure I would show you and just let you know, still loving it even in 2023. So the next three things I'm going to show you from Tom Ford, like I said, these all came out in 2022, but I waited till now to get it. The cream bronzers, this cream contour, I could have easily bought it when it came out, but at that time I had just bought one, and so obviously I couldn't do that. But it's been reformulated, and so that's why, you know, I couldn't wait to get a chance to try this out. I've been meaning to, and I think I still will, do a whole video dedicated to Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate products. So I'm gonna keep this short and sweet, but I'll say still love it. There are some differences between the new formula and the old formula, but I'm even starting to make a dent already. But yes, I still love, I still find the Tom Ford cream contour for me is my most favorite cream bronzer, cream contour formula, period, because it just blends like butter. So yes, but I'll tell you what the differences are in an upcoming video. But love it, love it, love it. Would repurchase again and again. I don't care. Yes, it's expensive. Don't care, don't care. All right, highlighters. So we have Peach Light and we have Tan Light. And these are beautiful, and I like to mix them. You know, so I normally will put this on first and then this on top. So especially for my skin tone, it probably, you know, it can be rough to just do this by itself, but together, beautiful. And then this is, you know, even better suited for my skin tone, so you could do separate or together. So I will give you the full detail tea in another video, because as you can tell, this video is getting long, so I'm trying, guys, but I bought a lot. I got a problem. I did buy some eyeshadow quads. That's what got me into Tom Ford, was his quads. But it was a wet dry formula that really got me into his quads. This is different formula, but I wanted to try something different. I do have one, I do have a wet dry. This is the one called Après Ski. It's pretty, you know, obviously, you know, these shades, they show up on me, but they're not like super pigmented. So I'm happy I got this on a discount, but pretty, you know, I really can't complain when it comes to Tom Ford's wet dry. These ones though, I wanted to try his cream powder formula, and I like it. What I'll say is, so this one is Smoky Quartz. So what I'd say is I like it, but like with this one, I tend to just use the darker shades, these lighter shades. I'm not too, on my skin tone, I'm not too much of a fan. So I end up using the darker shades of this, and then I got Forbidden Pink. And same, I love this deep matte. So a lot of times what I will do, straight up, I will take the deeper mattes in here and the deep matte in here, and then I will use it with the Tom Ford wet dry formula with those shimmers. Like the shimmer, Forbidden Pink has some shimmers. It's cute, but it ain't no wet dry formula. So this is not, you see what I'm saying? Like, she pretty, she cute, but she ain't bling blinging, you know what I mean? So, but I actually do like, I do like the matte, cream matte formula when it's deeply pigmented. But when you have a lighter shade, obviously on my skin tone, yeah, you get it. So I'm happy that I got this on sale, you know, paying full price. I might have been mad because, you know, at these prices, when it's like 90 bucks, all four need to be hitting. We can't just be, you know. So, you know, I'm so mad I missed out on, there's a I think it's called Violet Sateen, hoping it comes to CCO. I know there's a green one. So I won't even necessarily hate on the formula, but these particular ones, not all of the shades are the best for my skin tone. So that's my opinion on it. Just when it comes to Tom Ford. If you have a CCO near you, wait it out, go CCO. You can get everything. I'm telling you, 60% off on the regular. There you go. A brand that is reminiscent of Tom Ford is Guerlain. And so I bought one, and I have a dedicated video to that, so we won't speak too long about it, but just letting you know, still love it. Love it. So obviously this one was special because, you know, the packaging. Oh, the detailing on that is gorgeous. But besides the beautiful packaging, I actually do love the formula. It's reminiscent of the Tom Ford Wet Dry. They're not exactly the same, but you know. But if you like Tom Ford's Wet Dry, then there's a good chance you'll like this one, and vice versa. So I love this. I probably still would say Mystic Peacock is my favorite. Color Store is similar, but Mystic Peacock would be number 1, and this would be number 2. But this is beautiful. This is the brand where the packaging is reminiscent of Tom Ford, but the eyeshadow formula is completely different. Suku. This is another brand that I have several dedicated videos to all of these, so I will be very quick and brief because I was pretty thorough, I think. So just letting you know, still love them, still love them. So we had the pre-summer collection that was inspired by sunflowers. So you have the green and brown one, kind of think of the soil and the leaves, and then the yellow and pinky pinky one, you know, where you can think of the actual flower bloom itself. I love them. I think these are unique color stories. I love the formula. So that was for the pre-summer, and it had come up with these like cream like primers, which were like interesting and different, and I thought they were kind of cool. And then the summer collection, I had only gotten one quad, but this was like a multi-chrome soft, you know, not like indie, but I just, Suku for me, you know, beautiful. And I also had gotten the marble lipstick, which is like sheer, but beautiful, like a peachy nude. I have zero complaints. Loved it then, love it now. It's a vibe. It's different from a lot of Western makeup that we're used to, but I appreciate you can still make a soft look, still be impactful. And that's what I love about the sophisticated look of Suku. All right, so next brand.
I'm gonna actually take a little break here because this video is starting to get long, and I have a feeling like you guys probably can't sit through a whole 16 minutes. Maybe you can, but I figure we'll make it a part 1, part 2. So the second part will be focused on my indie makeup, like eyeshadows, drugstore makeup. So we're gonna leave the luxury behind and move to the indie brands. So at this point, this is where I'm gonna ask you to subscribe to this page if you haven't. If you're not already following me on Instagram, Daps_makeup, please do. And please catch me in part 2.